Hey folks, how you doing? Just a really kind of quick video here for something quite historic that's going on right now over in Paris. And as you can see from the headline here, major fire taking place at Notre-Dame Cathedral over in the center of Paris. And this fire is absolutely decimating this historic building. Going to go through some of the tweets that are coming out, look at some of the images. I'm not here to tell you this is some giant conspiracy or anything like that. I just find this highly symbolic. And, I like architecture, and I find it quite sad, very sad to see something like this, something so iconic, to not just France, but the Europe. In fact, maybe even the world. There's not many people who haven't heard of Notre-Dame Cathedral. And like I say, it's heartbreaking, really, to watch some of the scenes coming out of there right now. Start with the BBC here. Notre-Dame Cathedral, firefighters tackle blaze in Paris. And there's no actual definitive cause or reason why the fire has broken out yet. But as you can see here, officials say that it could be linked to renovation work. Images on social media show plumes of smoke billowing into the air above the 850-year-old Gothic building. 850 years old, folks. So you can see this here. This is from Twitter. Play a little bit of this so you get an idea of what's really going on here. In the meantime, since this was filmed, that actual spire has now actually collapsed down right into the building. And at the time when I first switched this on, when I was first alerted to the actual news about something going on over there was only actually one fire engine that was in attendance. I think a helicopter's turned up now. Reports of more fire engines on the scene. But if we're just going to scroll down through some of the tweets, have a look what's going on, have a look to see what some people are saying. Really, I find it quite symbolic, And again, no conspiracy attached here. But at a time when you're seeing France really in a state of change, great upheaval there in the past few years with all of the migrants coming in, all of the trouble that we've seen with the various attacks. And I'm not suggesting for one moment that this is any attack. Please let me make that clear. Far too early for anyone to say what's really the cause of this. I find it quite symbolic at a time when there's a lot of talk in Europe about the Islamification, this change from Christianity towards a growing majority or a growing number of people that follow Islam. And I've got friends that are Muslims that I've got absolutely nothing against Muslims or Islam at all. Yes, there's some bad characters out there. We don't need to go into that. You can see that all around the world. That doesn't mean that over 1 billion people who follow Islam are evil, in my opinion, okay? And I just, like I say, I find it almost symbolic of the times that we're living in. And this is history here, folks. I mean, this is history that's been removed. We really are in times of great change right now. You call it the apocalypse, you call it what you want, but, we're moving into this new age, this new world, and, the icons of the past, it would seem, are starting to disappear and come down. So let's just take a quick look at this. We'll get a bit of the history of Notre Dame. There we go. It's going to be all over. Russia Today, they've got it there. Probably can't show that too long. Russia Today got that company Ruptly. I mean, look at that there. That's absolute devastation. This comes from BBC. Listening to my former colleague in Paris, Hugh Schofield, it sounds like there is not much activity by the pompiers to stop the fire at Notre Dame. Now, I take it that's the fire brigade. I mean, what can you really do to get a handle on what's going on here? And as you can see, you can just about make out there and here scaffolding around the building. So probably, logical thinking, I would say probably something's gone wrong there. Maybe some of the wiring, something like that. But this big spire here, it's now gone. It's collapsed into the building. And whether we'll ever see Notre Dame restored to What it once was, that's anyone's guess. You know, can't believe that our history is burning. Notre Dame is going to disappear. As a French girl, I'm devastated, literally, and it's such an iconic kind of landmark, not just in Paris, but for France itself. And Macron, not my favourite globalist politician in the world, he's cancelled an event tonight. He was due to speak somewhere, and he won't be attending that. I'm sure there'll be people out there probably speculating about whether this has been some kind of deliberate action by some group or another. You know, we see a lot of the yellow vest activity that's been going on in recent times, and let me state clearly here, in my opinion, nothing to do with that. But I'm sure in the hours that are going to follow, we'll probably hear various theories and hypotheses on what's going on. But the reason I'm here to make this is because I find this just such a historic moment. I really do. And Sky News, one of my friends, Alistair, there's just informed me that are saying no firefighters have any hoses aimed at it. Surely not. That seems to be the general consensus then from here, and what we just read from that BBC tweet. This AP image is daunting and devastating. It certainly is. You know, crowds are gathered watching this, obviously. You can see here people in Paris itself. And then we've got Sky News, an absolutely sickening sight. Sky's Dominic Waghorn is in Paris where the Notre-Dame Cathedral is on fire, and he says he can see the flames flying 20 metres into the sky. And here's everything we know about the Notre-Dame fire. So if we go here, we'll see what they're saying here. 12th century, we'll get into the history of it in just a moment. See if it's got any kind of facts here. We can see some of the images that are coming out. Utterly shocking. I mean, look at that. It says here the cathedral dates back to the 12th century and is famous for featuring Victor Hugo's classic novel, The Hunchback of Notre Dame. It attracts millions of tourists every year. And Notre Dame was in the midst of renovations with some sections under scaffolding, while bronze statues were removed last week for works. Now, I know that's going to fuel conspiracy theories. Oh, they moved all of the important stuff out of there ahead of this fire. No, that's not for me to get into. That isn't the purpose of this video, as I've stated. But mark my words, you're going to see some of the usual characters out there coming out and saying this is, you know, all a setup. Could well be. Who knows? Like I say, that's not for me to get into. Right now, I'm just interested in the fact that this really is one of our historic landmarks. Call it Paris, call it France. I say of the world. I really do think it's one of these, you know, major kind of places that everyone can kind of relate to, heard of. And again, this is history being removed before our eyes. I love architecture, all these old Gothic cathedrals. I'm actually going to Roslin at the weekend, and it's just heartbreaking to watch this. It truly is. So just get a bit of the history before I'll let you go and check all this out yourself and I get ready for tonight's show. Notre Dame, there we go in Notre-Dame de Paris, meaning Our Lady of Paris, also known as Notre-Dame Cathedral or simply Notre Dame, is a medieval Catholic cathedral on the Ile de la Cite on the fourth arrondissement. I hate that word. Fourth region of Paris. The cathedral is considered to be one of the finest examples of French Gothic architecture, and the innovative use of the rib vault and flying buttress, the enormous and colourful rose windows, and the naturalism and abundance of its sculptural decoration all set it apart from earlier Romanesque architecture. The cathedral was begun in 1160 and largely completed by 1260, though it was modified frequently in the following centuries. In the 1790s, Notre Dame suffered desecration during the French Revolution, when much of its religious imagery was damaged and destroyed. Soon after the publication of Victor Hugo's novel, The Hunchback of Notre-Dame in 1831. I didn't realise that book was that old. Popular interest in the building was revived. A major restoration project supervised by Eugène Viollet-le-Duc began in 1845 and continued for 25 years. Beginning in 1963, the facade of the cathedral was cleaned and centuries of soot and grime and returning it to its original colour. Another campaign of cleaning and restoration was carried out in 1991 and 2000. Now, as the cathedral is one of the archdioceses of Paris, Notre-Dame contains the cathedra of the Archbishop of Paris, somebody called Michel Aupetit. 12 million people visit Notre-Dame yearly, it thus being the most visited monument in Paris. And on 15th of April 2019, somebody's updated this already, the cathedral caught fire and caused devastating damage, especially to the spire. The extent of the damage was initially unknown, as was the cause of the fire, though it was suggested that it was linked to ongoing renovation work. Preliminary reports suggest the fire was not accidental. Now, I'm not sure where they're getting that from there. They say they're citing CNBC and somebody called Seeger Teresa. Fire reported at Notre Dame. This comes from AGC. That's the Atlanta Journal-Constitution. Now, why they're saying preliminary reports suggest the fire was not accidental, I haven't heard that, folks. I haven't heard that. And that there is speculation. And this is where, you can really call into question WikiLeaks and who are these trusted kind of editors, publishers on there. You just look at some of the kind of images that we have here. Utterly stunning. Just stunning. When do we see buildings of this magnificence being built today? This is something that's lasted, like we heard there, from 1160 until now. Most of the buildings that we build today, you'll be lucky if they're here 100 years from now. Think about it. We use glass, steel, things like that. Really, these buildings of the past, although our architecture of today probably in some ways equal, maybe surpasses it, it just doesn't have this magnificence that you'll ever see again. So just take a look at another couple of the pictures. Here's one of the rose windows that they're talking about there. Inside it, look at that place. Can you imagine what it would have been like trying to build that back in 1160? It doesn't even make sense in my mind. It doesn't compute that they were able to do things like this back in 1160. So, look at all the carvings here as well. And this is, of course, it's famous for its gargoyles. We often talk about gargoyles on the Kev Baker Show from time to time. We've got the gargoyle at Denver Airport right now. So, you've probably seen imagery of Notre-Dame Cathedral. Even if you haven't been aware of it, you've probably seen stuff from there. And there it is in all its glory, That's from the river. This spire here now, it's gone. It's collapsed right into the centre of the actual chapel. So we'll go back, we'll have a couple of look at that's the wrong one there. Some of the latest tweets about this. And I'll let you get back about your day. I'm going to be talking with Charlie Robinson on the show over on the Kev Baker Show later on Truth Frequency Radio, tfrlive.com. No doubt we'll be paying a little bit of attention to what's going on here. I'll get Charlie's thoughts on this. Because like I say, let's just not think about the cause of this for the moment. Let's think about how symbolic it is. It truly is symbolic that this is basically, been razed to the ground. And that's a bit dramatic, I know. There's probably a lot of the structure is going to survive this, I hope. Hopefully they'll be able to, build it back up again. But still highly symbolic. I don't think anyone can really argue that. And, another picture of it there. Of course, a lot of this is going to be in French, sorry. I think Donald Trump, we'll have a look at him. I think he actually tweeted about this not long ago. Where is he? There he is there. So horrible to watch the massive fire at Notre-Dame Cathedral in Paris. Perhaps flying water tankers could be used to put it out. Must act quickly. By the sounds of it, they really are not acting very quickly at all. And again, I'm not there. I'm not really able to see just what kind of operations underway to get this fire under control. However, it doesn't look like they're really too interested by the sounds of it, of putting this out. But again, how do you put that out? I mean, people all hate on Donald for saying this. You can see people down here talking about when California burns, you threaten to take away federal support. You know, really, not a time for scoring cheap political shots or taking a dig. Whether it's water tankers or some other method they use, they need to get this under control. Surely, I think we can all agree on that. No matter what your opinion on Donald Trump or any of these other clowns is, you know, this is really, really a sad day. Truly a sad day. Go to the top tweets here. Usually that way we'll get the best ones. Yeah. Twitter urged to suspend Trump, accused of sharing propaganda and hate speech. Well, I don't think that's that's not the... Leave that with me, folks. I had the wrong one there. Notre-Dame. There it is. We'll go to the top tweets on that. This is when it collapsed. You see it coming down there? Damn. So, folks, I will let you get back to it. You can let me know what you think. I'm sure everyone's going to have their own theory on this. I'm just here to bring you the news on what I call a very, very sad day indeed. So we'll be on the show tonight over on the Kev Baker Show from 4 p.m. Sorry, got it wrong again. 2 p.m. on the West Coast, 5 p.m. on the East Coast, and that's 10 p.m. in the UK. TFRlive.com. Hope you can all join me for that later.